Hello and welcome to this episode of Tripology. It's a backpacking show where two best friends talk about backpacking, specifically that. I'm Alan and I'm here with the ever-divulgent Adam.
Woohoo! Still in Japan, Alan. Still with you.
We're here, almost in exactly the same spot as we was last week.
Yeah, this might not be the last recording in Japan, but it might be the last recording in Japan. And as the fans all know, that when we're together in the same space, it's much easier to record than when we're apart.
It's been a different type of trip this time, though. Last time we were recording in the Philippines, it was very much a Filipino journey about recording. Whereas this Japan journey has not been about recording. It's been about just hanging out.
It's been about you working.
And that... You're always complaining. Always complaining. I work for 1 or 2 hours a day, by the way.
Still calls it a full day, though.
It's not been... It's not been very work-focused for us. So
no, we've had a good time.
The recordings have suffered. But the time we've had has been great.
It's been really good. It's involved a lot of food. It's involved a lot of walking.
I'm wearing the same... I've been wearing the same outfit for almost every episode of Tripology.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Not one of them was a kimono.
Because I did laundry for us.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of thing you do. If you have a friend who you want to look after, you put them up in a place that's too far away from the centre of Tokyo and you do their laundry from time to time.
And if what you're thinking is this Alan basically saying that he is working full-time, he's the breadwinner, and he's also the house husband? Yes, it is. And what does Adam do? Not a lot.
I left a tissue in the pants of one of my, let's call them trousers, when I did the laundry.
In the pocket, you mean?
It covered...
He left a tissue in one of the pockets.
Yeah. What did I say? Pants?
Pants in one of your trousers.
Yeah.
We're just trying to be inclusive for the US audience.
Yeah, and I covered our laundry in little bits of tissue.
Yeah. Unrecognisable some of the pieces of clothes were. Some of the items.
Little bits of tissue all over them like confetti at a snot party.
Yeah. And I mean, I wasn't that bothered about it, but it looks like something that was going to be very difficult for us to rectify.
I'm just rocking the same look as a result.
Yeah. Well, I have checked the washing actually, which is currently being hung on your balcony, and it's not that bad.
Yeah, you can wipe it off, can't you? You know, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
You got to keep your chin up.
Bit of wind, bit of Japanese wind coming through the Tokyo streets, blows it all off.
I called you divulgent at the start of the episode because I said, Adam, what should we talk about in this episode? And you said, I want to divulge something. And I said, can you give me a bit more? You said, no, it's just a divulgence. So it seemed like the logical thing to call you was divulgent. And I'm hoping that I get divulged too. What is it that you want to divulge?
So this is long overdue. And it's not necessarily in chronological order, but I do think it's an episode that is going to be of value to anyone who wants to go to New Zealand on a working holiday visa as a backpacker.
Oh, we're going back chronologically in time to before you were in Thailand.
Yep.
To when you were in New Zealand.
To when I was in New Zealand.
It's a place we've both been. It's a place we both lived.
Yep. So I've had a couple of months to digest, to process everything that I lived, all the experiences that I absolutely loved. And now I've come up with a list that... Let's be honest, it's going to sound like I'm complaining. However, I am going to make it positive where I can. And I do think it's an important... we already know the positives about New Zealand, don't we?
Yeah, I can see the title of your list there, and I'm going to do a quick impromptu jingle for it.
Okay.
New Zealand travel. 10 things no one tells you.
Is that a jingle?
Yeah, because I'm going to put like graphics.
Oh, amazing.
I want...
And some songs? Or...
Yeah. I've just persuaded Adam to do half of the editing, so we're going to do it.
But yeah, New Zealand travel, 10 things no one tells you. Obviously, New Zealand is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. If you like the outdoors, if you like nature, if you like hiking, natural beauty, waterfalls, road trips, cool festivals, cool people, all that kind of stuff.
He's just blown through his whole list.
It all happens in New Zealand. There's wonderful experiences to be had. There's cool little villages and towns and lots of farms. If you love farming sheep and cows, you'll love New Zealand.
Do you think that's a large percentage of the backpacking community go to New Zealand because of that?
Maybe not because of that, but a lot of them end up working on those farms.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for experience shearing sheep, rearing sheep,
go on, think of some more. With
eating sheep.
Nice. What else? Come on, keep going.
Knitting wool.
Rearing. Cheering. Eating.
Cheering.
Bop it. Top it.
And yeah, working and living on farms, growing vegetables, all that sort of stuff. There's loads to do in New Zealand for the backpacker, and lots of it is positive. If you don't like the outdoors, if you don't really like camping in the wilderness and exploring nature, there's good wildlife as well, certainly around the coastlines.
Yep, you've got the bird with the world's shortest beak.
Yeah, also known as the kiwi.
Yep.
You've got some whales off the coast of Kaikoura, as well as some dolphins, loads of seals, sea lions, all that kind of thing. So it's a great place for the outdoors. If what you want is a really busy, multicultural, dynamic, fast-paced city with loads to see and do, like Tokyo, don't go to New Zealand.
Oh, an anti-Tokyo.
Well, I mean, maybe you've just got to be someone who understands what New Zealand is.
New Zealand is the L to Tokyo's Laito.
Oh, this is an anime reference now. Just to if anyone else got that before I said it, I would be absolutely astonished.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're currently halfway. Are we even halfway through the series? We're not, are we?
We're watching an anime. If you know what I was referencing then, leave it in the comments here on Spotify and you might win a little prize.
But anyway, back to New Zealand. I just want to preface this list by saying, because I am well aware that some people are going to say that it's negative, that it skews negative, but I'm just trying to restore some balance.
Do you want me to play the role of a sort of rebuttal?
No.
Like a big New Zealand fan?
No.
And just come at you viciously if I feel any criticism?
No, because if you disagree with this list, I'll be A, amazed, and B, upset.
But I can play the devil's advocate.
Okay. You're welcome to play it whichever way you want.
Okay, we'll see.
But don't play devil's advocate if you agree with what I'm saying.
Okay, you want me to just be honest. You want me to just
that's
be
what
me.
Annoying people do.
I'll just be me.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, really?
No,
you just coming across
like you just want an argument. But this is somewhat subjective because it's my experience.
Okay.
And if by subjective you mean that I lived there for 14 months, lived in a van for 5 of those months, drove around the whole country twice, and worked for multiple businesses, sure. I've got a lot of New Zealand friends, whatever. So I think I've had enough experience.
I can say it because I've got New Zealand friends.
I think hopefully I've had enough experience, not just in New Zealand, but around the world, to have some degree of objectivity when it comes to this sort of stuff.
I also lived in New Zealand for a whole year, worked there for a year. It was my home for a year. I lived in, big fans of the show will remember, I lived in a terrible bit of accommodation, colloquially known as the crack house, in which windows were ripped out, replaced with pizza boxes, and people were taking drugs all the time. Not me, though. I was clean. So we both have experiences of New Zealand, so we will both be able to weigh in on the topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think, I do want to say this, okay, and it is going to be fun, it's going to be lighthearted, but it's going to be true.
There's been 10 minutes of preface so far, so I can't wait.
I think that New Zealand's marketing team have done a fabulous job.
Really?
Is what I'm going to say.
All filler, no killer.
Well, if you show enough reels on Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
Look at a sheep, share it. Look at a sheep, rear it. Look at a sheep, eat it.
The beautiful mountains, the landscapes, the sunsets, the lakes, all that sort of stuff, and these wonderful hikes. The Fjordland, obviously Milford Sound, blah, blah, blah. It just looks wonderful everywhere. And that also is true. It is, I think, possibly the most beautiful country I've ever been to.
Wow. And you've been to some beautiful places, man. Let me list some of them now.
No, we can't have more than one list in this episode. But this is the sort of stuff that you might find out if you live there, you experience it, and if you talk to lots of other backpackers. Okay? So, number 1, bad phone connectivity.
Oh.
Did you feel that when you, maybe not because you were in Auckland, weren't you?
No, because if I ever want a good reception when I'm traveling, I tend to use Saily. And that's why I never had bad phone connectivity when I was in New Zealand, Adam. Did you?
Amazing. Yes, because I wasn't using Saily. I was paying through the nose for a local provider. And I found that even as you go out of the larger towns and cities, not even that far, you're still like within the suburbs. Sometimes the connection drops. If you go anywhere out in the sticks, which is often in New Zealand, most of it's the sticks, the phone connectivity will drop. And it doesn't mean you're paying any less. These companies will still charge you top dollar per month, and the service is just either non-existent or below par.
Now, skeptical listeners will think that was in the list because of sponsorship from Saley.
Yeah.
I just want to go out now and say, and you have to believe me, that is actually not the case. Adam didn't know I was going to do that then.
No, I don't
And
know.
it just
that
so
you're gonna do most things.
happens it just so happens that we got a Saley sponsorship for this week's episode.
Yeah. So
And that list has been written for a long time. I can see that you started working on it about 2 weeks ago.
So yeah, bad phone connectivity. Don't expect, if you've got a New Zealand provider, a local provider, it's going to be expensive, and it's not always going to be good.
Just use an eSIM. That's genuinely what I do. I use them here in Japan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just needed an eSIM, so I just go eSIM, and I don't have to deal with like setting up. What's your name in kanji? I don't know. Do it online.
So yeah, that's real. Number 2, everything closes early, even the bars and nightclubs. Also, there's sometimes weird alcohol bans in some areas and on public holidays, which for someone like me, Alan,
Yeah.
an unjustified, in my opinion, alcohol ban, it's annoying. It's annoying for the travel community within New Zealand because we like to drink.
Yeah, I liked this because sometimes I'd receive a little call from you when you were sent home from the pub saying, "Oh, I'm just drunk and walking home. All the bars have closed." And it felt
And it's 7 p.m.
It brought us close together. So that's why I like it, but I know it was a big frustration for you.
Yeah, and it is, sometimes you're in a city or a large town or a small town. And if you're in a small town, there's usually only 1 or 2 bars or 1 or 2 bars that are worth going to. And they close so ridiculously early by European standards that it's just, you're left feeling frustrated.
Well, maybe that should be the standard. Maybe European standards are wrong. Did you ever think of that? Maybe people are drinking a little bit too much, a little bit too late.
And
it's disrupting society.
Because I'm a fair person and I have experience in other countries as well. Okay. So I've come to the conclusion, Alan, basically there's just not the market for it, and the businesses haven't justified staying open later because they wouldn't get any more business. That's fair enough. They want to go home to their families. But it is like going back in time. Someone said to me once,
I've got a lovely little sheep at home, needs rearing. If you think I'm going to stay out till 4 a.m. drinking with you, you got another thing coming.
But just be prepared for that, all right? I think it's annoying. I think that the bars and restaurants and everything should stay open much later. Positive flip, wow, this has just come to me. If you want to work in hospitality, but you still want a social life or, a normal sleep schedule, just go to New Zealand. You'll be off work by 9 p.m. It's amazing.
That's nice, yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
So don't live there, work there instead.
Yeah, you can work there if you want very little money and no chance of saving. But that's further down the list. Number 3, terrible roads.
Okay.
Which, if you're going to do a road trip in New Zealand, is a problem.
I cycled everywhere. I didn't drive.
But that was in Auckland, where there is infrastructure.
Right.
I was, down on the South Island for about 8 months, up on the North Island for roughly 5 or 6 months. And I went to lots of different places all over the coastline and out in the middle of nowhere and blah, blah, blah. Even if you are driving through not a built-up area, but a main road that connects to built-up areas, which sometimes can be hours long, let's face it, or kilometres, depending on the term of measurement you choose to use for length.
Inches.
It will just turn into gravel without warning. So it goes from a normal road, just tarmac or whatever it is that they're choosing to use, and then it just changes into gravel, and then before you know it, stones flicking everywhere, and you pop a tyre and all that bollocks.
So I did a road trip as well, but I didn't drive. My friend drove, and
that's why you're still with us today.
We had a Hyundai,
yeah,
and by the time we returned the car, only the Y and the A was still on the back.
The badge or the back?
Yeah.
Well, it'd just be like, just vibrated off.
Yeah. And my friend was a good driver.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine that what you're saying about the roads is true because of that. That is empirical evidence that the roads are bad. Only the Y and the A held on for dear life.
Yes, and you will. I've actually since seen reels on Instagram about this sort of stuff and TikTok. There is this funny joke in New Zealand about the road work and the road workers, right? The construction and stuff that goes on. So many fucking cones everywhere. That's true. And in my opinion, these road workers and construction companies, they do the absolute bare minimum to potholes or to fix the roads and that sort of stuff, to repair them. So that they'll just, in 5 years' time, need the same work doing again.
Yeah.
And you really do feel like that. There's this weird, if anyone has ever seen one of these, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a tarmac wave that appears at the edge of the road, almost as if when it was being laid, when it was wet, a truck drove over it and compressed part of the road and then flicked.
perhaps an overweight person. The same thing is true in the Philippines. Someone told me that they deliberately don't complete the work to a high standard so that they'll get the contract again. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on in New Zealand, but it seems a little bit suspicious.
It is a little bit suspicious.
That the work keeps on needing doing.
Yeah. So the number of potholes, the conditions of the roads themselves, the fact they change into gravel without warning, the fact that sometimes they're just gravel fucking hundreds of kilometres or whatever, is a bit annoying and potentially will damage your car. Number 4, crazy haircuts.
Yeah.
Seriously, crazy haircuts. Ones that you can't even imagine. And
people aren't shearing.
They're not shearing. They're not shearing. The sheep, they've got fairly conventional haircuts.
Standard.
But some of the people, do you know which ones I'm talking about?
The mullets. I always respected that about the sheep, though, because they get one haircut a season, and it's always the same one, uniform. All of them get it.
Yeah.
Buzz cut.
You can
down to the bone, and then they let that shit grow.
They go to the same barber every time. Short back and sides.
Yeah. And underneath.
Yeah. The haircuts I'm talking about, sometimes it might involve a rat's tail, sometimes it's a mullet, sometimes it's shaved across the front. It's all crazy all the time.
The one thing that's linear about them is the sides are short, often.
Always. I've seen some serious mullets in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Some of them are really impressive.
Just go short on the sides and then fucking do what you like with the front and the back. But that's where I want my personality to be on show.
Yeah. I mean, I am treading carefully here because I think in Maori culture, I think there is some significance perhaps to the little rat's tail.
In that case, I like it. I think it's nice to have a rat's tail. Good, if anything.
But it doesn't mean that they're not unusual. I mean, they are still very usual. I just need to do more reading on the cultural significance and what they really mean. It's just when you see them all the time, you start to wonder, should I get one myself?
Well, I want to come out on the podcast and say that I really like moko.
The chin tattoo.
I think it's nice.
Yeah.
To have tattoos down your chin.
Alan's got one. You just can't see it because it's hidden by his fantastic beard.
That's why I've grown this beard. But I think it's cool. I actually really like the Polynesian Maori art style, and I think those moko look nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
they really are. They're very, very cool. Number 5, changeable weather. Very bad weather.
It's just the same as Britain, isn't it, in that respect, the weather?
The weather in New Zealand's much worse.
Than Britain?
Much worse. Yeah, in my opinion. Certainly on the west coast of the South Island. Alan, some years they get 9 metres of rain. Are you fucking serious?
I've never understood what it means when people describe rain as length like that.
What, height?
Of what?
What? Do you know what's the same height as 9 metres?
About 8.5 of me.
That's a lot of rain.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
That it's very rainy.
Well, that's when it goes on the ground. That's how much it is.
Yeah, if you were to have a long tube, a cylinder that could collect the rain,
right,
it'd be 9 metres.
It depends on the diameter of the cylinder
in the whole year.
Is it a standard width, the cylinder?
No idea.
Is it a rain gauge?
Yeah, I guess so. That would make sense if it was a rain gauge.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. How else do they measure rain?
Well, I don't know, because for me it just thinks if you made a wider cylinder, or perhaps like a cafetiere or something,
right,
then more water or less water would go in, depending if you had a very thin cylinder. So it must just be a standard thing. But I don't think that anyone has a concept in their head of how wide that thing is. So when you say, it's 9 metres of rain, that could be a lot of rain or a very little amount of rain.
I'm not sure it could.
If it was a tiny, tiny tube,
yeah,
about one bottle of water would go to 9 meters.
It would fill up quicker.
Absolutely.
But even if it was the diameter of a raindrop and they were just falling one after another,
then you'd be surprised how quick 9 meters get filled. Whereas if it was the size of a car,
take longer.
It would take a long time.
But put it this way, it's one of the rainiest places on Earth.
So that's better measurement. Rather than using abstract, it's 62 farthings of rain every minute. I think just say...
rainiest place on Earth.
There you go.
Just to give you some
Sounds
idea,
bad.
Sometimes you can be driving just a couple of hours and the weather will change. And a lot of what's good about New Zealand is the outdoors, adventure sports, all that sort of stuff. And it's shit to do in the rain and often cancelled because of bad weather. Even short flights that go from, say, I don't know, Queenstown to Milford Sound or whatever.
For example.
So, yeah, it will, if you're doing a road trip, and sometimes the weather's unpredictable, even in the summer, it will dampen the spirits.
Which, of course, exacerbates the bad roads. So in New
Also
Zealand,
true.
things are going back, and maybe even the haircuts as well get affected because people's moods, they get cooped up indoors, they get a little bit crazy. So in many ways, the list is a cacophony. Each one causes, and you got to understand that the bad weather probably affects the phone reception as well.
Yeah, quite possibly.
So it's all part and parcel of the same problem that New Zealand's facing, isn't it?
I think so. I think maybe it's just the weather. And it will, look, I'm just telling you this so that if you go to New Zealand, don't be surprised that the weather's shit a lot of the time. And it's unpredictable. And when it should be sunny in some places, maybe it won't be.
Yeah.
And it might affect your road trip. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
So just do your research, but don't pin all your hopes on doing something on the basis of a weather report you've read for something that is longer than 72 hours in the future.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Just keep looking at the weather apps, all right? Number 6, it is very difficult for backpackers to save money, and there are few work opportunities.
It's another weather problem. There's nowhere to work.
Unless
They've all
you're
been
working
blown
complaining
away.
about the weather. No, it was actually a shock to me, mate. I'm going to, forget the jokes. I'm going to be a bit serious now.
Let's just calm down, everyone.
It was a shock to me how little I was being paid, given... Maybe I'll just fucking tell you how much I was being paid.
I'd like to know.
I was offered a contract with a wine retail business for $27 an hour.
Which is a decent wage in New Zealand.
Is it?
Yes.
So given that I've got 10 years experience in the wine industry, I've sold millions of dollars worth of wine in my career. I've worked in the wine industry in 7 countries, I think, and done a hell of a lot of vineyard work as well, and have qualifications in wine. And I was offered $27 an hour, which is abysmally low.
That's what I started on in my music shop as well, I think, and then it was later increased.
Yeah.
But that's just really standard. I would say, though, this is where... So I agree with you, that is a low wage.
Yeah.
100%. There's no argument from me. But I want to add into that, though, I saved more money in New Zealand than I ever have done before backpacking.
But you were working a hell of a lot, weren't you?
Oh, almost constantly.
Yeah. So your main objective was to work every hour that God gave you.
Because I didn't want to go back to the crack den.
Right. So if you're living an incredibly humble, restricted life...
And working every hour that God sends,
yeah,
it's possible to save money in New Zealand.
Yeah, well, I think you could probably do that in most countries.
I've never managed to in other countries, though. That's the thing.
But
New Zealand obviously gave me some form of opportunity because there is, there's people there with money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working in a shop, but also charging privately.
Right.
And for some of my work as well, I ran classes that the government paid me for.
Mm-hmm.
So there was money.
Right.
I could charge a lot for my lessons,
mm-hmm.
and I could charge the government a lot for some of my lessons as well. So New Zealand, although the wages might be low, the money is there.
Also, the cost of living is high. And a lot of people are leaving New Zealand as a result and going to places like Australia. So, I mean, there were people working for the same business as me who have degrees in political science, and they're being employed to chop cheese up and put it on a board, and they're getting paid even less than I am.
Yeah.
Which I think is a real shame, but it's the story across the whole of New Zealand. Don't think you're going to come to New Zealand with your qualifications and just get a job in whatever you want to do. You've got to be prepared to make a few sacrifices, even in terms of your living conditions as well. You often be in a share house or whatever. You might be lucky and get a really high paying job.
Or just do your own thing as well, hustle. I think
get multiple jobs.
Or just try. I think a lot of people, backpackers, they're trying so desperately to get a job working for someone. But if they invested that same time working for themselves and building a hustle, they'd probably make more money.
But there is also a high cost of living. So if you come with a few $1,000s or even $5,000-$10,000, you might end up spending all of that trying to get something off the ground. So it's probably an idea that you work at the same time.
Yeah.
But you just concede.
I'd work at the same
time. But yeah, I think that a lot of people that I've spoken to about this in particular, complaining about the lack of opportunities, complaining about the number of other backpackers trying to get the same jobs, all this kind of stuff, especially in things like hospitality. So you could work on a farm and have an experience, but I had to decide very early on, or accept, it's probably more appropriate to say, very early on, that this was just going to be an experience for me. New Zealand will be an experience, and it won't be a financial trampoline where I can do as you did and just work hard for 6 months or for 12 months, save all my money.
It bought me a year in South America.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Well, working in Canada, where there are fantastic opportunities and I was getting paid what I'm worth.
You're still spending the money now.
I'm still on the money now 2 years later.
There you go. 2 years he's travelled with just a little bit of work in Canada.
Yeah, can you believe it? Eating sushi every day, Michelin star restaurants, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Go to Canada, guys. I'll see you there. That was a little spoiler alert, I guess. I'm not going there right now. But it's definitely worth going. But you just maybe have to go into New Zealand with a bit of an open mind, be prepared to work hard, and don't think that you're going to save bags of cash, because it can get difficult. Number 7, some people might say this is a positive. The people there are incredibly relaxed and there's no sense of urgency. Is that good or bad?
I think
It's a small observation.
I think it's a positive.
Do you?
I like it when people are a bit chilled out because it's nice. It goes against my horrible, aggressively anxious energy.
So I came into New Zealand, and maybe this is just because of the way I am as well, with kind of that city mindset. Fast-paced, high energy, expecting things to be done yesterday, and not really understanding why people are just wasting hours and hours standing in a queue when they haven't even asked the staff any information about what it is that needs to happen to get them whatever it is they want. So I wouldn't say I'm impatient, but it was, the people there are so relaxed. It's almost, to the point of like, how does anything get done? Do you know what I mean? Like it felt a little bit disrespectful that the person that I was like paying for a service, for example, they just didn't give a fucking
Casual.
They didn't give a shit how long they took to do something. I was like, come on, I haven't got all day for this. And I think I'm quite tolerant.
When I was in New Zealand,
Yeah.
I was walking past a window,
Right.
my housemate's window. He opened it and it's cut the top of my head.
Right.
I went to hospital
Yeah.
and the nurse glued my head shut, and a bit of the glove she was wearing got caught in the glue and then stuck in my hair.
Right.
And she went, "Oh, you're going to have a glove in your hair for a few weeks."
And that was it.
Yeah. So
No-
she was relaxed about that.
So relaxed.
And
God.
I did think, you don't have to live with this glove. And indeed, the glove was in my head. Because it wasn't
no
just like,
compensation, nothing.
it wasn't just glued to my hair, it was glued to my scalp. I had to go and teach ukulele with a little blue finger of a glove glued to my head.
Well, what did they offer you? It was like, they just said, sorry.
Oh, she went,
it's a-
it's going to be just a blue glove in your hair, mate. Make an accessory out of it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think mostly I'm talking about things like, I don't know, I've interacted with people in banks or, shops and whatever. I'm like, come on, guys, can we get moving? They basically, the staff in some shops, they don't seem to go faster even if there are more customers.
Yeah.
Usually if I was working in hospitality or some sort of, service, I would work faster if I had an influx of customers.
I've seen that happen, actually.
But they don't do it. They just think, well, this is going to take as long as it takes, and I don't care if there's 100 people waiting or one. I'm going to do the same thing. It shouldn't affect my life. Having said that, though, I did get a number of tyres changed on my van. Incredibly efficient. I'll call them up and say, "Oh, what do you think that you could?" They were like, "Yeah, just drive in. We'll do it now, mate." So
why do you think that? So what's the point then? Sometimes it's just by person basis.
maybe.
Or you think there's something inherent about the Kiwi culture that makes them relaxed,
They are super relaxed. They're super chill. They're never in a rush to do anything. Everything's
apart from tyres?
yeah, maybe.
Apart from tyres. Well, Adam,
Go on.
I can see that you've got a couple of belters left on the list.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest that we finish the list over in the Patreon section. How would you feel about that?
Really?
I think so.
Well, that's come as a surprise to me.
I think it's high time. If people enjoyed the list,
Oh, you're worried about the M one, aren't you?
head over to Patreon. I think the end one's controversial, and I'd like to hear it over in Patreon. So I think,
Okay.
sum it up,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
things that no one tells you.
yeah, things that no one tells you about living in New Zealand. Things that you would only know if you've lived in New Zealand and you form part of the travel community. I want people to go to New Zealand to experience it for themselves. But as I said at the top of the episode, I do think the New Zealand marketing team, I've had an amazing time there. I've had an amazing time there. But the New Zealand marketing team have done a fabulous job of selling that country.
Okay, well, there's plenty more to say about it. There's some bangers left in the list. There's a link in the description, in the show notes, to our Patreon where you can go and hear a little bit more, baby, all about what Adam thinks about New Zealand. We'll catch you there. We'll see you next time.
See you there.
Bye-bye.